Okay, so that should fix the audio issue. Okay, so we're back. Alright, sorry about that, folks. We had a lot of technical issues for just a second here. But it's still this is moving to the northeast very, very quickly at about 55 to 60 miles per hour here. So the audio is going to be coming back here shortly, guys. Just be patient with me, okay? So moving northeast 60 miles per hour. So it's going to make a move for Boonville. But this tornado warning goes until 7 o'clock this morning, okay? So just keep that in mind here. This is moving very, very quickly, so you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area here. Also, there's a severe thunderstorm warning over here in eastern Oklahoma as well. These storms are moving very quickly, guys, so you don't need to waste any time with these storms today here. So bear with me for just 1 second, trying to get everything back online here, okay? So I'm hoping everybody can hear me well. It's been a very low morning to start. We had a tornado warning up there in northwestern Arkansas this morning. We now have a new tornado warning in place across west central Arkansas at this time here. We also have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings across southwestern Arkansas and northeastern Texas, okay? So a very long day is going to be expected for us here in Arkansas, okay? If you have specific city questions or anything like that, please check out the page, okay? Please check out the top of the page. All your information is going to be there, folks, okay? If you can't find it in this live stream, please check it out on the page here, guys. We're not going to be able to get to everybody's question during this live stream, especially when there's ongoing tornado warnings across the board here, okay? So this is moving northeast pretty quickly. As you can see, there's time frame for Boonville. It's a pretty rural area over here in western Arkansas, but you can see that's the area of rotation. Let's go back to our debris indicator, actually the rotation indicator, for just a second. And the one good thing that I'm noticing here is that this is not as intense as it was before when it was coming out of Oklahoma here. So pretty broad rotation, nothing too significant. We're still going to watch it very closely as it's pushing out towards north and east here. It's making a run for Highway 71 here between Mansfield and also Waldron. But keep that in mind across this area here, across western Arkansas. This is the area we're watching very closely first thing this morning. The tornado watch goes until 1 o'clock this afternoon, guys. Alright, so keep that in mind for today. If you have any questions, please check out the page here, guys. It's going to be a early start. It's going to start off early, guys. I've been telling you guys over the last couple of days that this was going to be an early start. And it's going to be something that we're going to have to be watching all day long here, okay? Timing, if you need that timing information, is going to be on the page as well here. But you can see what's going on. There is the potential tornadoes. And so far, it's brought out. So I wouldn't be shocked this tornado warning ended up being canceled and being replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning, because the rotation is just not as intense as it was when it was coming out of Oklahoma. As you can see, good amount of rotation. It was coming out of Oklahoma, and as soon as it got into Arkansas, it started broadening out, which is great news in terms of the tornado potential, but you can still have a damaging wind potential along this line as well here, okay? So just watch that very, very closely over the next, I'd say, 20 to 30 minutes, and then it's going to start making its way towards Boonville at this point here. So I don't know if they're going to expand that tornado warning further to the north and east. If they don't, it's going to be at least an extension of a severe thunderstorm warning, or at least a special weather statement up here to account for the wind potential with this, guys. And then so forth, we got a lot to talk about here. I was planning on doing a live stream about 7 o'clock this morning. We've had 2 tornado warnings off the bat. So that's kind of ruined those plans here, but I'm going to make a live stream at some point this morning when we get a chance to get rid of these warnings for a time period to talk about what's all going to be expected across Arkansas here. But we've had 2 tornado warnings across the board here this morning, so that's kind of ruined the live blog idea this morning, and we've had to go straight into tornado coverage here, okay? So timeline on the storms is repeated. I'm going to repeat this one more time. The timeline on the storms is going to be on the page, okay? All that information is on the page, guys. Don't wait on a live stream or anything like that. Take a look at the page. Take 5 seconds, look at the page. The top of the page will have all the information you need to know, okay? We have Futurecast that's going to be up. All the information you need is going to be on the page, guys. But when there's a tornado warning, that is where our focus is going to be at this point here, okay? So this is for western Scott County. This continues until 7 o'clock, and it's still 4. With that area of rotation kind of broadened out with this, it's not as intense as it was when it was coming out of Oklahoma. So I really wouldn't be shocked if the tornado warning ended up being canceled for this area here, which would be great news. But something that we're gonna kind of keep an eye on here, and I'm gonna look at this very closely. You can see what it's trying to do, and this is something we're gonna watch all day, guys. All right, these storms are gonna be capable of doing this. They're gonna have those brief periods where it's great rotation, no rotation, great rotation, no rotation. It's going to be that back and forth pattern all day with these storms, especially first off in the morning. Then we get into the afternoon and into the early evening. That's where we'll have more instability to kind of play with, and that's where we could have the potential of seeing significant severe weather, especially for our folks over there in eastern Arkansas. Okay, so I'm still watching this storm very closely. It's not as intense with the rotation as it was before when it was coming out of Oklahoma. Okay, because you can see there it is when it was in Oklahoma coming into western Scott County. Really good rotation here, but as soon as it got into Scott County, the rotation kind of flattened out. So this is telling me more damaging wind versus the tornado threat at this point here, which is great news in terms of that. We actually have a new tornado warning that's in effect for the same area. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about that. So that's going to go until, give me one second, it's going to go until 7:15 this morning. Just got issued. It's not for Arkansas, but it's for the same general area here. Okay, so this is something we're going to have to watch and wait and see what happens as we get towards later this afternoon into this evening here, because what's going on is it's producing these area of rotations across the board, and that's something that we're going to have to watch all day long here. So this is the other tornado warning here. This is not for Arkansas. This is for eastern Oklahoma at this point here, but it's heading the same general area here. Okay, it's heading right for the same area that first tornado warning kind of went through here. So I am going to stay live for just a little bit. Once that tornado warning has been allowed to expire, I'm going to stay on live for just a little bit to see what this one's going to do, because you can see there's your track. Mansfield once again, Waldron once again, Boonville once again, up towards Charleston up here in west central Arkansas. So that's the second tornado warning over here in eastern Oklahoma, and then this is the first one that is in effect until 7 o'clock, and that's when we're going to go right towards Boonville across the area here. So a very active day across the board here. That's the third tornado warning to start off this morning, guys. A very active morning across the board. All right, we've had multiple tornado warnings. You can hear the inbot going crazy back there in the background. That just tells me we're getting a lot of information in very, very fast here, guys. So we're rocking and rolling first thing this morning across the board here. And keep in mind, this isn't a very low-risk area for the potential seeing tornadoes here, okay? This is in that 2 to 5% area. This is not even in the 10 or 15% area right now, okay? That area is seeing sunny skies, partly cloudy skies over here in eastern Arkansas at this point, okay? This is well away from the highest tornado and wind risk for today. This is in a very low risk area at this point. This is why we were stressing so much. Don't pay attention to the 10% or the 15%. The 2 and 5% can easily produce as well. And this is what we got going at this point here. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to zoom back down so you guys can see what I mean here. So this one right in here, the rotation is pretty much gone. Okay, so this warning is probably going to end up being canceled within probably the next 5 to 10 minutes once we get a good reading on the rotation. The one further to the southwest, the rotation is still pretty strong. Okay, so it's similar to the first storm where you had a good amount of rotation coming out of Oklahoma. Okay, and then it moved eastward into western Scott County, and then the rotation kind of died off. Alright, so that's basically what happened, something that we're going to monitor. I know there's a lot of people saying that alarms and sirens and stuff are going to be going off. The one thing about today, guys, you got to know where your cities are, you got to know where your counties are, okay? Because the tornado warning, the sirens are going to go off because the county is under the warning, but it doesn't mean your particular city is under the warning, okay? It's just a county thing. If a county goes under a warning, then it's going to sound a siren, but your city may not be impacted by the tornado at all, okay? So just keep that in mind for today. That's why we're saying stay with us. That's why we have these live streams. That way you guys know where exactly the tornado warning is, because the sirens will go off for the particular county, but it doesn't go city level, it's county level. So just kind of keep that in mind. I hope that makes sense. But that's the secondary tornado warning over here in eastern Oklahoma. This one is not for Arkansas yet. Okay. What will probably happen if this rotation still continues, it'll probably be an extension, like similar to what we saw just a second ago, where it got extended into far northwestern Polk County and into western Scott County over here, and it'll probably follow the same path as this one did up here in northwestern Scott County here, guys. Okay, so I'm going to take the severe thunderstorm warnings off for just a bit. Alright, and we got the 2 tornado warnings because I want to focus on those two. The severe thunderstorm warnings are important as well because they will carry damaging winds and hail, but the tornado threat will be there as well here, guys. So I want to focus on just the tornado warnings at this point. Okay, so tornado warning up here in Mansfield, between Mansfield and Waldron, that one is fixing to get ready to expire pretty quickly at 7 o'clock. This one down here is going to go until 7:15. Same general area, okay? Waldron, 7:20. Mansfield, 7:24. Boonville, 7:37. And up towards Charleston by the time we get towards 7:42 here. If that rotation continues, then it will probably be an extension to that tornado warning, and it'll go for the same area, northwestern Polk County and also western Scott County across the area here. We can see what's going on here. And the number one thing that I'm starting to get concerned about is that this is not a line of storms. These are broken line segments that I'm seeing with radar at this point here. Remember, guidance was basically set on a line of storms pushing through Arkansas. If we start seeing broken line segments versus a big squall line, that will up your tornado threat today. Okay, that will be the bigger drive for the tornado threat versus the damaging wind threat. Alright, something that we're going to monitor. Alright, the best case scenario for Arkansas is we get a big line and it's out of here quick. We don't need this to be broken line segments like we're seeing this morning. That's the reason why you've had 3 tornado warnings right out of the gate, because of the fact that these are broken line segments versus the line of storms itself. Okay, so those up here in northwestern Arkansas, you are good to go. You're in the clear. If you're getting a good amount of heavy rainfall up here in northwestern Arkansas, you are in the clear. The severe threat for you is coming to a close, but for everybody else, where it's dry right now, the severe threat still continues for those areas here, guys, and it's going to continue until we get towards the afternoon and the early evening hours of this morning here. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. There's the cities, and that's the timing for the cities as well. This is moving to the northeast here, so for when that warning expires, what I'm going to do here, okay, so there's the newest update with the tornado warning. So it still remains in effect until 7:15 for southeastern LaFleur County and Oklahoma here. So basically what they're going to do is similar to what they did with the first tornado warning. It's just going to be an expansion to western Scott County here. So we're going to keep the live stream going until that happens here. But if it doesn't happen, that's great, because it gives me a chance to do a live blog and give you guys all the information you need to know here. So if you need any kind of information here, tune in. You know, tag your friends, tag your family. I'm going to try to go over that. Once we get these tornado warnings off the board, then I will talk more about what's going to be expected as we get towards later today here. Now, I am starting to notice something. Is this storm up here in Waldron County, I'm going to zoom back down to this storm here. It's starting to make a run to the right, okay? That's concerning, because what will happen is it will start turning into more of those southeast winds, and it could potentially try to make a run for another potential tornado at this point. Okay, we're gonna watch that very closely. The new track, remember, it was going northeast. Now it's starting to move due east. Okay, so Blue Mountain, Havana, Danville, Ola, Plainview at this point, in Danville, looking right around 7:30 to that 7:40 time frame for this storm to move through. At worst, it will produce a great amount of wind as it's pushing off towards the east here. Okay, so our flow, instead of going northeast now, is beginning to make that turn to the east. Okay, which means that all of these storms are going to begin to move east, northeast, or even due east at some point. And we should start getting a line of storms at some point this morning to try to make a run for Central Arkansas here. But it's gonna be a little bit before we get that, folks, here. But there's the track for that one, and then this is the newest track for the one that's Tornado Warren. That's just west of Mena at this point. That's gonna go from Mansfield right around 7:30ish, and then as we get towards the Huntington area, 7:33, and then Boonville as we get towards that 7:40ish, 7:50 time frame. At that area here, okay? So let's see here. George Elementary in a warehouse has been here. So they before 4020 now reported that. That does not shock me, honestly, and that's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to take your tornado precautions whenever you're dealing with these storms, guys, because they will be quick. All right, similar to what we saw up there this morning in northwestern Arkansas. They're going to be very, very quick. If they produce a tornado, it's going to be quick. All right, so your reaction should be just as quick as the storm itself today. Okay, that's the no one advice I can give you. Your reaction should be just as fast as the storm is today. Okay, these storms are going to be moving 60 to 70 miles per hour. They're not your typical 30, 40 mile per hour movers across Arkansas. These are 60, 70 mile per hour movers here, and there it is. And I was just mentioning that there's now a new tornado warning for our folks in northwestern Polk County and west central Scott County here, guys. So let's talk about that real quickly here. So tornado warning goes for northwestern Polk County and southwestern Scott County until 7:45 this morning. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Mountain Fork, or 14 miles west of Mena, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour here. Hazard tornado source radar indicated rotation at this point here. Basically a carbon copy of this one up here, that first tornado warning, which is fixing to expire in about 3 minutes. Okay, so it's a carbon copy of this one, but this one right here, you can see. Let's zoom this down and let's take a look at our debris indicator here. So first and foremost, not seeing a good amount of debris being lofted up, which is great news. Okay, there's a lot of heavy rain. There's a lot of even some small hail being depicted with this storm, but not anything in terms of debris. Whenever you're looking for debris, look at the scale up here at the top right corner, top left corner of your screen. Excuse me. The precipitation is your reddish, purplish, and then you start getting into the blues. That's where you start having the potential of seeing debris being lofted up. And I'm not seeing that with this one, which is great news. But still, monitor this storm very, very closely here. So we're going to take severe thunderstorm warnings off for just a second, and we're going to zoom down here and look at there, right here. Okay, I'm going to draw this out where your greens and your red meet together. That's where that tornado, that potential tornado is going to be. Okay, that's west of Mena, northwest of Hatfield, or just southwest of Waldron at this point, and it's moving due northeast pretty quickly. Okay, so Waldron, you are now in that tornado warning here. So if you know anyone in Waldron, I've been talking about this about the last 20 to 25 minutes here, excuse me. This is moving to the northeast very quickly, guys. Okay, let's see the storm motion with that. This is going to be moving northeast at 45 miles per hour, 45 to 50 miles per hour. Okay, so Waldron, you need to be taking your tornado precautions and meeting in this area here. Remember, get away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately in these areas, guys, okay? Brittany, I did see that damage up there in Springdale this morning. I was talking to you guys about that earlier. We did see a debris ball right now. I don't know if it's being ruled as thunderstorm damage or it's being ruled as a tornado at this point here, but that should tell you everything you need to know about today. It's going to be a rough day for us here across Natural State, guys. You need to be prepared for fast-moving, severe thunderstorms across the board today, okay? So this is where your tornado potential is at this point. We'll put the track back up at this time here, and we'll zoom out so you guys get a better visual on what the track looks like here, okay? So that's going to take my drawing off for just a bit. But you can see what happens here, okay? So we're talking northwestern Polk County into Scott County, right over Waldron, okay? This particular storm is a little stronger than the first one that we went through, okay? So a good amount of rotation with this one, but you can see the track that takes it straight through Waldron, and then it's going to make a run for Boonville up here, and it's going to make a run for Blue Mountain up here as well here, okay? So keep that in mind. If you know anybody in Waldron, or if you know anyone that is on Highway 71 at this point, they need to be taking their tornado precautions. I mean, as I said before, we've been talking about Highway 71 pretty a lot over the last hour or so. But that's what's going on at this point, guys. So if you're just now tuning in, I do appreciate y'all tuning in. I've got about 800 people on this live stream right now. I do appreciate each and every one of y'all for listening to us and trusting us as your weather source, guys. This is what we do. We give you guys all the information so you guys can stay safe out there, okay? We do have that tornado warning. We'll tell you guys about the tornado warning just in case you're just now tuning in. It goes for northwestern Polk County, southwestern Scott County until 7:45 this morning. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Mountain Fork, or 14 miles west of Mena, moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour here, okay? So this one's not moving as fast as the first one was. First one was moving about 60 to 65 miles per hour. This one's moving at 45. Hazard tornado source radar indicated rotation. And you're going to see that a lot today, by the way, okay? You're going to see that a great ton today. A lot of these tornado warnings are going to be what's called radar indicated rotation. Basically, it's just what you're seeing on your radar right now. It's basically this. I can draw it out. Basically, what you're seeing on your radar, okay, let's draw it out. Basically, this is it. This is a version of what's called radar indicated rotation, okay? Basically, that means radar is picking up rotation within that storm and it's capable of producing a tornado, all right? So, you see a tornado warning go out today, act fast, okay? You gotta be quick with these storms today, okay? They're not gonna be messing around. You cannot mess around with these storms today, guys. Don't try to go out and get famous, try to get footage or anything like that. Your safety comes first, guys. Your reactions gotta be quick today, okay? But you can see right over here that area of rotation, a good couplet with this, okay? We can zoom this down even further, all right? Right over here where your green and your red meet together, okay? Inflow, outflow, potential tornado right here. And that's along the Arkansas-Oklahoma border, similar to what happened with the last storm where it kind of went over eastern Oklahoma, northwestern Polk County, and then it made its way up into Scott County, guys. So, same path, okay? At 7:36, it should be arriving in Waldron. Waldron, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. You have 20 to 25 minutes at max to take your tornado precautions here. And I'm afraid that these storms are moving a lot quicker than what's being credited. So I would say you have probably 15-20 minutes in Waldron to take your tornado precautions immediately, guys. Okay, so if you know anyone on Highway 71 or in Waldron at this point, I know school's going on right now, people are getting ready to go to work. Take those tornado precautions immediately, guys. Wherever you got to go today, it's still going to be there tomorrow, I promise you. So take those tornado precautions today, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Also, as I said before, if y'all need any information on the page in terms of what's going to be happening later on, please check out the page, guys. All the information you need to know is going to be on the page. As I said before, I was anticipating a live blog. I was getting ready to do a live blog at 7 o'clock this morning. We've had 3 tornado warnings so far. So Arkansas weather did not wait at all. We went straight into tornado coverage this morning. So once we get past these initial warnings, then I will start talking about later on today what can we expect. But if you need that information right now, go check out the page, please. We'll have all that information on there at this point, okay? So you can see what's going on here. There's the area of rotation coming over northwestern Polk County at this point here. P-O-L-K, by the way, not Polk, Polk County. This is moving into southwestern Scott County at this point here, okay? So this is now beginning to make a run for Highway 71 in the Waldron area, okay? Now, based off of its latest trends, it may, and I mean just may, miss Waldron just to the north and west. It's too early to determine. We saw with the last storm that was up there that went tornado, it moved due east. Okay, so what's going on is your flow is east-northeast right now. Your flow is coming northeast, and then it's doing due east at this point. Okay, so that's what's going on at this point here. There's the area of rotation coming right over northwestern Polk County at this point. This is moving into Scott County at this time here. Okay, I know this, and I'm seeing some comments right now. I do agree, Hannah. This is coming in at the worst time possible. You've got school, you've got work ongoing at this point. People are trying to get to where they need to go today. 7 o'clock in the morning, still 4. Arkansas weather did not wait at all. It did not wait at this point, okay? And I was worried about this across western Arkansas. That's why I was urging you guys so much that don't ignore the low-end tornado threats, okay? Don't ignore it, because this is the prime example of what they can potentially do. You have an extreme amount of shear. I mean, once I get past these tornado warnings, guys, I'm going to show y'all how much shear we're dealing with right now here, guys. It's a crazy ton across western Arkansas. And what's going on here, you're seeing a prime example of the shear overpowering the lack of instability. So basically, you're getting the rotation, you're getting the storms producing the capability of producing tornadoes, but your instability is not high. So that's what's going on at this point here. The shear is completely overpowering the lack of instability across western Arkansas at this point. So you're seeing a very low tornado risk verifying just because of the extreme shear that is in place here, okay? So this storm is moving to the northeast very quickly, about 45 to 50 miles per hour. By the way, I'm going to tell you guys this now, the beeping you're hearing back there, you're going to hear it all day long here. All that information coming in, and this is first thing in the morning. I am very worried to see what's going to happen as we get towards this afternoon into this evening here, guys. But we're starting to ball off really early across western Arkansas here. So there's the area of rotation. Okay, as you can see, your greens and your reds meet. That's the area of rotation across northwestern Polk County, and it's going to move into Scott County within the next, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes here. Okay, so we're going to go back over to our radar for just a bit here. If I can go back to my radar for just a second here. And technology has not been my best friend today either. So we're going to go back over to radar. Let's see if we can get radar up. Okay, so we had radar up for just a second. We're going to go back to our radar indicator for just a second. I'm going to see if I can get the radar back up and running for just a second here. Okay, so basically what's going on is I'm getting a new scan in. So it's going to show us weird colors for a second. There we go. Okay, so I was getting a new scan in with the radar at this point. That's why it was kind of looking like that. But so forth. There's the area of rotation right here in northwestern Polk County. Okay, there's new severe thunderstorm warnings that are going off. By the way, also keep in mind on this today too. Okay, you're going to see those severe thunderstorm warnings that are going to go out, right? Do you see the tag? You see severe thunderstorm warning expires at 7:45. Thunderstorm damage threat considerable. Okay, if you see the warning right over here, okay, if you see this severe thunderstorm warning going orange, that means that the damage threat is going to be considerable in that area. Okay, so now you're realizing the damaging wind potential with this. Okay, now this is starting to move towards the east northeast very quickly, 60 miles per hour. Okay, and I saw that one comment about always being worried. That's just because lives are at risk. Dustin, thank you for grabbing that comment. But so forth, folks, there's a current tornado warning at this point. It has been replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning here. So now we're starting to get severe thunderstorm warnings across the board. Alright, this is going to go until 8 o'clock this morning here. So we're getting the ball running really quickly across western Arkansas this morning, guys, okay? Multiple tornado warnings, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings across western Arkansas this morning, guys. So a very, very early and often start for us here in western Arkansas this morning, okay? So 60 mile per hour wind gusts, 1 inch hail inside that tornado warning itself, okay? And then this one up here where you see the orange, that's for the damage threat to be considerable. This is capable of producing 70 mile per hour wind gusts across this area, okay? So this is for the storm up here. I'm going to read you guys this one real fast. That's going to go from western Logan County, excuse me, and northern Scott County across the area until 7:45 this morning. Severe thunderstorm is located along the line extending from Echo to 8 miles south of Washburn to near Mansfield, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. 70 mile per hour wind gusts with that storm and quarter-sized hail with that storm here. Thunderstorm damage threat considerable in these areas here. So I'm pretty sure you're going to see power outages or even trees down with that. That's 70 mile per hour winds coming your way here towards Magazine, towards the Paris area here. And then also, so for we still do have that tornado warning across the area for northwestern Polk County and western Scott County at this point here, guys. So a very, very active start to our morning here, guys. So before, if you're just now tuning in, we do have that tornado warning in place until 7:45 this morning. It's going to be another 30 minutes with that tornado warning here. And then we have the severe thunderstorm warning up here, which is a considerable damage stretch severe thunderstorm warning up here for Boonville towards Blue Mountain and just to the east of Mansfield at this point here, okay? So please keep that in mind. Stacy, I see your comment. That is a great comment. Looks can be very, very deceiving. I cannot tell you that enough, okay? Looks can be very, very deceiving across the board, guys. Please take your tornado precautions if there's a tornado warning for your area today, guys. Don't waste time. Don't try to go out and see it for yourself. You need to be taking those precautions immediately, guys. We got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings across the area. We've got multiple tornado warnings across the area as well here. And I'm going to zoom this out to show you how active we're starting this off. Look at Northeast Texas already too, okay? Northeast Texas getting the ball running off quickly, guys. So a very early start for us here in Arkansas, okay? A very, very early start for us here in western Arkansas. And I was afraid of this, that we were going to see that potential across western Arkansas just because of the great amount of shear we have in place here at this point here. And you can see, look at eastern Oklahoma at this point as well. What's called a mesolos trying to get going over here as well. That will increase your damaging wind and your localized tornado threat across this area at this point here. But the number one thing I'm worried about right now that I'm going to keep an eye on here is these storms are not moving due east. They're all moving northeast right now, which means this area right over here, okay? This area, the highest concern for seeing severe weather is relatively clear this morning. All your severe weather right now is moving due northeast, okay? So that means that this area over here is becoming prime. It's becoming ready to go for severe weather as we get towards late this morning and into the early to mid-afternoon hours of today, okay? So keep that in mind. That's Little Rock, that's Conway, that's Camden, El Dorado, Warren, Stuttgart, that's the Brinkley area, that's Memphis, Jonesboro, West Helena, Lake Village. These areas over here that are not seeing anything right now, trust and believe me, you will see it as we get towards this afternoon and into this evening here, okay? So there's a lot of storms beginning to try to form across the area here. And I'm going to tell you this now, based off of what I'm seeing, it is a very, very slow motion. I mean, it's a very, very slow motion with these storms this morning, guys. Remember, this was supposed to be a damaging wind threat straight through. A line was supposed to be coming through, and that was it, okay? These storms are all moving northeast right now, okay? So that means that you don't have much going on across these areas. As a matter of fact, we can take a look at the Weather Center right now, and we have some cloud breaks here in Little Rock, okay? That tells me that your environment is becoming more and more unstable and more conducive for the potential of seeing severe weather across the board here, okay? So we're going to zoom this down for just a bit. I'm going to take off the severe thunderstorm warnings for just a second, okay? And we're going to talk about the tornado warnings for just a bit, okay? So these are the ongoing tornado warnings at this point. Bear with me for just a second. I'm going to switch this over so you guys can see it, okay? So there's a new track, Waldron. You have maybe about 16 to 20 minutes to take your tornado precautions, okay? So just keep that in mind at this point. This is going to make a run for Boonville and towards the Blue Mountain area. As a matter of fact, if you bear me for just a bit, I am going to see about trying to pull up the county names at this point here, guys. So bear me for just a second, okay? And we have that up here, guys, so you guys can see where the counties are as well, okay? So this is Scott County. This is Polk County, P-O-K, alright? And then this is going to make a run for Logan County up here in Boonville towards the Blue Mountain area. And then this is going to be Yale County over here as well, okay? So the tornado warning right now goes for West Central and Central Scott County and Northwestern Polk County at this point. You've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings to go along with this, guys. But this is the only tornado warning in place right now. Alright, so keep that in mind at this point. Also, one more thing that I'm going to keep an eye on here, guys, is that we're going to be getting a update from the Storm Prediction Center at this point here, okay? So, give me 1 second. I'm going to take a look at some stuff real fast here. Alright, Let me see here. Okay. Right now, let's see here. The newest update should be out right around 8 o'clock this morning here. Okay. So just keep that in mind here. But yeah, the wind profiles with this, guys, is insane. And if I can get rid of this one tornado warning, I will show you guys that personally, how much wind shear we're dealing with right now here. So once we get rid of this tornado warning, we're going to switch this over to what's called a live blog, kind of give you guys an update of what to expect later on. And then we'll tackle any other warnings that may get issued. Okay, so this is what we got going at this point. Also, I'm going to check into our index over here. Alright, so they're continuing the severe thunderstorm warnings over here. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys over here. Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning continues for Montgomery, Polk, and Scott County until 8 o'clock. Tornado possible with that one. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to go for the same area. That one was, okay, so that one was upgraded just because it's tornado possible. The tornado warning still continues for Polk and Scott County, which you're seeing on your screen right now. That's going to go until 7:45 this morning. Also, let's see here. Okay, so that one's been expired. That one's been expired. That severe thunderstorm warning, damage threat considerable. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's going to go for Logan and Scott County. So basically, these two counties right here. That's going to go until 7:45 this morning as well, here, guys. So we do not have an update, as far as I know, from the Storm Prediction Center. I think we're still waiting that update here. But based on what I've seen this morning, I'm very, very concerned that moderate risk may get pushed just a tad bit further to the west to kind of count for this potential here. Okay, so let me see here. Tornado watch. Okay, so we haven't got anything yet from Storm Prediction Center, but we are going to be watching this situation very, very closely across the board here. All right, so there's the area of rotation here. And as Civil 4 Stacy, you made a great comment. Looks are very deceiving here. You would look at this right now and you would never think that it would be capable of producing a tornado here, and that would get you right there. Okay, so we're going back to our rotation indicator at this point. It should be loading up quickly. Alright, we're going to take the severe thunderstorm warnings off for just a second. Okay, let's go back over here. Let's take the severe thunderstorm warnings off. Alright, and there's the couplet. Okay, there's the cause for the tornado warning at this point coming into southwestern Scott County, and it's going to make a run for Waldron and Highway 71 as well. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Get away from windows, put as many walls from you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately in this area here. And also, Albert, great point. Folks, do not try to go out and see this tornado for yourself here. There's also a new warning that just got issued, so we're going to tackle that. Let me 1 second here. The inbox is going to go crazy with that new warning. So 1 second here, we'll read to you guys this new warning. So this one over here, okay, there's now a new area of rotation here. So Eden, if you're listening to this live stream, we have one of our forecasters, Jim. Tell him to take shelter immediately. There's now a new tornado warning for downtown Mena now, okay? So tornado warning for northern Polk County, southeastern Scott County, northwestern Montgomery County until 8 o'clock this morning. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Vanderview, or 14 miles southwest of Mena, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. If you are in downtown Mena, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately, guys. Get away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. You need to take shelter immediately if you are in downtown Mena, okay? So this is right over Cove, or just south of Hatfield. This is moving northeast at 65 miles per hour here, okay? So remember, for just a bit, let me go back over to our level 3, back to level 2 for just a second. We're going to pull up a track with this as well here, okay? So Mena, you're at 720 right now, okay? You have until 7:30 to take your tornado precautions immediately in that area, okay? Mena, you need to seek shelter immediately. Right now, just based off everything I'm looking at here, I got another screen that I have pulled up. Right now, based off what I'm seeing, the area of rotation is definitely there. Let me see if I can get over to the correlation coefficient at this point here. Let me go over to our CC drop real fast on our software here for just a second here. And the one thing I want to know is that the good news is right now is nothing's on the ground. Just based off what I'm seeing here. As a matter of fact, let me take a look at that. right here, okay? Right near Cove or just south of Hatfield. Watch this storm very, very closely. It's capable of producing a tornado here, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour here. Radar indicated rotation here, but don't ignore that potential, okay? You need to take your tornado precautions immediately. So this goes for Mena. This goes for Mena Intermountain Airport. This goes for the fairgrounds as well, Polk County Fairgrounds, Cove, also towards Cherry Hill in Polk County as well here. Also, this is going to make a run for Scott County as well. So Scott County, you are now under a dual tornado threat, which is 2 tornado warnings in the same area, okay? If you're on 71 right now, you need to be seeking shelter immediately in these areas. Please keep that in mind here, okay? This is in western Arkansas, Polk County, and also Scott County in this area here, okay? Keep this in mind. If you are in this area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately at this point. We're going to go back over to our rotation indicator. I'm going to take the severe thunderstorm warnings off for just a second, okay? Give me 1 second here. We'll take the severe thunderstorm warnings off just for a bit, and we're going to focus on this area of rotation. So we have 2 tornado warnings that we're covering right now, okay? This one right here is headed towards Waldron, okay? So this one is going to be moving towards Waldron within the next 8 minutes. If you're in Waldron, Highway 71, take your tornado precautions immediately in this area, okay? That goes for Boonville, Blue Mountain, Paris, also Coal Hill, and Morrison Bluff. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area, okay? We have another tornado warning. That's going to go from Mena down here, okay? That's Cove and Hatfield. That's going to go right towards Mena. Mena, you have 8 minutes to take your tornado precautions, okay? That's getting away from the windows, that's getting away from the exterior walls, getting to the lowest, more central portion of your home, and taking cover immediately, okay? Do not waste time. Do not try to go out and see this tornado for yourself. It's not going to happen, folks. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area, okay? So, central Polk County, that's downtown Mena, okay? That's going right over Mena. Mena, take your tornado precautions immediately. Same thing goes for Waldron up here. So we're going to take this out, zoom this out so you guys can see both at the same time here, okay? Waldron, okay? Waldron, you have 8 minutes at max to take your tornado precautions. That one is moving right towards Waldron. This one, moving right towards Mena. I did not mean to zoom down, but you can see what I'm talking about here, okay? So that's Mena. The path going right over Mena, you can see, okay? And then this is going to make a run for southeastern Scott County, far northwestern, give me 1 second, far northwestern Montgomery County, and it's going to make a run for western Yale County at this point as well here, okay? So, something that we're going to watch, there's 2 distinct areas of rotation, as you can see. Remember, your green and your red combining into one is where you want to look for that potential of a tornado, okay? So this is in southwestern Scott County, and this is in southwestern Polk County, okay? This is in Mena, Highway 71. Let's pull up some roads while we're here as well, okay? Highway 71 south, Highway 71 over here, okay? Up towards Waldron, okay? Highway 270 as well, that runs from Mount Ida all the way over to Mena. If you're going from Mena to Mount Ida right now, you need to stop where you are and you need to find a substantial shelter immediately, okay? It's just moving due northeast at about 65 miles per hour. Alicia, I know I have a lot of people that are in Mena. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately here, okay? You have less than 7 minutes. You need to move quickly if you are in the Mena area, guys. We've already gotten reports from northwestern Arkansas of damage this morning, okay? Don't waste time. Don't do it, guys. Take your tornado precautions immediately in these areas. Every single area of rotation today will have a chance of producing a tornado warning or have a chance of producing a tornado today, guys. There's an insane amount of shear. I'm doing dual coverage right now. I'm looking at doing coverage for you guys here on Facebook and on YouTube, and I'm also taking a look at soundings right now. I'm taking a look at your upper air networks right now, guys, and there's a lot of wind shear that we have at this point here, okay? So take your tornado precautions immediately. If you are in downtown Mena, take your tornado precautions immediately. Do not go outside. Don't try to see this tornado for yourself. Please take those tornado precautions immediately in this area, okay? Same thing goes for Waldron in central Scott County. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area, guys. Cove, Hatfield, Mena, Blue Mountain, Mena, you have 5 minutes to take your tornado precautions in those areas, okay? Luckily for Mena, this may, and I mean just may, skip downtown Mena just a hair, but it's too close of a call to make that judgment, okay? So as you can see here, there's a new scan that's supposed to be coming up, okay? New scan. There's your area of rotation right in here, okay? Still there between Hatfield and Mena. Take your tornado precautions in Mena. As a matter of fact, that area of rotation is right there on Highway 71, or just southeast, of Highway 71, and this is moving to the northeast at about 65 miles per hour. So this is going to cross right over Highway 375, Highway 8 up here, and also Highway 88 up here in Mena. That's just east of Mena. So probably the southern and eastern side of Mena will probably be dealing with the tornadic potential of this storm here. Also, another thing I want to talk to you guys about is the wind potential with this as well here, okay? So there's also a severe thunderstorm warning with this storm as well here. So that's the tornado warning at this point. Those are the severe thunderstorm warnings with this as well, guys. Please take your tornado precautions and meet in this area here. You can see what's going on with this storm here, okay? So there's the track, okay? Mena, you got less than 5 minutes, okay? You're down to 3 minutes now, all right? There's your storm right in here. Your area of rotation is right in here. And I'm going to tell you guys this now. Stacy, you made a great comment earlier. Looks are very deceiving, okay? Looks are very, very deceiving. You look at radar right now, and you will be like, okay, what tornado? I don't see an inkling of what kind of rotation you're talking about here. And look at the latest scan, okay? Look at the darker purple starting to come up here, okay? There could be some hail being indicated with this, okay? There's definitely a great amount of mid to low level shear across this area, guys. And also, not to take anything away from the one up here in Scott County as well here. We have this one up here that's going to go for Waldron, Boonville, Magazine, and also towards Blue Mountain up here. That is Scott County. That is far northwestern Yale County. And also Logan County up there as well here. That's Blue Mountain and the Boonville area. That's in Logan County. Waldron is in Scott County. So these storms are moving very quickly to the northeast at 65 miles per hour. Look how big this tornado warning is. Okay, that's a wide area for that tornado warning. That's just because it's moving so fast. It's moving 65 miles per hour here, guys. So take your tornado precautions immediately in this area here. I know I sound like a broken record, but I cannot stress it enough, guys. Don't wait for confirmation. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area. If you need answers in terms of specific cities or counties, and repeat this one more time, if you need those answers, take a look at the page, guys. All that information is going to be there. We've got 2 tornado warnings. We're not going to sit here and answer specific city or county questions at this point. If you need that information, please take a look at the page at this point here, okay? So please keep that in mind here. And we're looking at this right now, okay? All right, and I see that one commenter saying this is headed right for Conway. This is far away from Conway. All right, this is easily 200 mile plus away from Conway, okay? This is well away from Central Arkansas. So Central Arkansas, you are in the clear right now, all right? This is moving due northeast. If anybody I'm worried about, it's Yale County, Danville area, and more towards the Russellville and the Dover area up here towards Polk County. And something we'll have to watch downstream along Interstate 40. Like I said before, the concern is that these storms are moving due northeast versus east. They're not moving away very quickly, which means that we're not getting a line. There's no indication of a squall line developing right now. Unless something happens out of this down here, there's no indication of a squall line developing, okay? So what does that mean for later on? That means that we could have a period of potential supercells across eastern Arkansas. We will talk about that once we get past these 2 tornado warnings across the board here, okay? This is moving well away from Central Arkansas. This is moving towards, I would say, the Danville, the Russellville area. That will be the area of next concern if this potential tornado continues on its current path. Okay, that's going to make a run for 40. This is well away from Little Rock. This is well away from Conway. This is well away from Greenbrier. This is well away from Central Arkansas, folks. Okay, this is in western and west central Arkansas. Okay, this is not in Central Arkansas at all. Okay, you guys are in perfectly good shape over there. All right, Danville, I said one comment about Danville. Danville, I would probably go ahead and prepare yourself just to be on the safe side, because this is moving at 65 miles per hour. It's going to take not long to get up there into Yale County. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions in this area here. And so forth. If it makes a run for Interstate 40, it makes a run for Russellville, it's probably going to be a little bit after 8:30 or 8:45 before it makes it up there. It's moving quick at 65 miles per hour. But will it keep its tornado potential? That's a wait see at this point. But it's just something to watch. Downstream, it's going to be the Dover and the Russellville area at this point here, okay? So something that we're just going to watch very, very closely as this move off towards the east-northeast at this point here, okay? So there's also another tornado warning. So before, this one's going to go until 7:45 here. So this one doesn't take too much longer. This one's going to move into Scott County and into Logan County's point, and in the Polk County storm, that one's going to go until 8 o'clock this morning here. Remember, take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to you on the outside as possible, and get to the lowest area of your home immediately here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and zoom this back down. Let's go back over to our debris indicator here, guys. And the one thing that I'm really glad to see whenever you're looking at this, and this is a product, what we call the debris indicator, or in some cases what's called the correlation coefficient. Basically, in layman's terms, it's just seeing if this storm is producing debris, or this thing producing any sort of potential tornado here. And based off what I'm seeing right now, the one up here in Waldron, not doing it at all, and then the one in Mena, I would say wind damage more than likely, but the tornado potential with this right now is starting to come down with this, which is pretty good news here, okay? So there's the new tornado warning, okay? So new tornado warning does cancel out the Hatfield and the Coveville area now, the Cove area, excuse me. So it remains in effect till 8 o'clock for northeastern Polk, southeastern Scott, and northwestern Montgomery counties in this area. So Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over the Polk County Fairgrounds or over Mena. So it's over Mena right now at 7:30. It's right over Mena, okay? Moving northeast at 65 miles per hour, okay? Take your tornado precautions immediately. Do not wait for any confirmation. Don't try to go outside and see this thing for yourself. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area, okay? Radar indicated rotation does not mean squat, okay? Radar indicated rotation means you need to take it as if it was on the ground, okay? So please keep that in mind here. Move this, but if you need, like I said before, if you're in this tornado warning, you need to move quickly, guys. Moving northeast at 65 miles per hour, guys. These are very, very fast moving storms this morning here. And as I said before, the one thing I'm worried about is that this thing is not, it's not moving, these storms are not congealing into a line. They're staying in line segments. And I'm going to tell you this now, the more that we see this, okay, what you're seeing on radar right now, the more we see those line segments broken up, even the one up here towards Mansfield, the better your tornado threat is going to be, especially for our folks in central and eastern Arkansas, okay? You need this to come into a line before it gets here in central and eastern Arkansas. You need it to be a line coming through. I would rather, and in either case, you're going to have either significant damage winds or a significant tornado threat, either way you go, okay? In most best case scenarios, you would rather deal with a damaging wind threat versus a significant tornado threat, okay? You don't want to deal with the tornado threat. You want to deal with the damaging wind threat, get it over with, and then it's out, okay? That's something that we're going to watch as we get towards this later this morning and into the afternoon hours, okay? So something that we're watching very, very, very closely here across the area, okay? So this is that tornado warning that's in Mena, moving northeast, 65 miles per hour, folks, okay? Don't waste any time. You need to be taking your tornado precautions here. Now look, you see it before, Yale County up here, Danville, Ola, and now it's beginning to kind of eyeball the Russellville area. Also, there's a new tornado warning now down here as well here. So for folks, this is going to go until 8:15. So this one's not a very long tornado warning here, but there's now a new one. Tornado warning for southeastern Polk County, southwestern Montgomery County, western Arkansas until 8:15 this morning. Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Wicks, or 12 miles west of Umpire, moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour here. So we're talking hazard tornado source radar indicated rotation at this point here. That's just south of Mina at this point. There's actually another one that just issued here. So this goes until 8 o'clock here. So all of these basically, this one here, 7:45, 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8 o'clock. So basically these three is going to go for 8 o'clock, 8:15 time frame. And then this one up here is going to go until 7:45 here, okay? So as a matter of fact, Noah, if you are watching this live stream, I would get ready to take your tornado precautions at that point, okay? Because this is moving due east now, alright? So watch these storms very closely. We now have 4 ongoing tornado warnings on place, okay? This is what we got at this point. We got 4 tornado warnings. Keep in mind, folks, okay? Keep in mind, this is 7 o'clock in the morning, okay? This is 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're watching 4 distinct tornado warnings, okay? And I know there's one in the Logan and Howard County area. I know there's not one being issued here, but we are watching that rotation as well, and so forth. Jess, that's a great point. If y'all are watching radar with us and you feel like that there's an area of rotation and you had that instinct that it may produce something, go ahead and take your tornado precautions. Don't wait for us to call it out. Go ahead and take those precautions. If you have that instinct that's saying, hey, this may actually do something and there's no warning on it, take your tornado precautions. Go ahead and do it. Don't wait for us to call on it, because that's giving you guys enough time to react, okay? So if you are in Scott, Polk, Montgomery, and down into down into Howard County, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Folks, do me a big favor. Share this live stream with your family and friends, okay? If you know anybody in Western Arkansas, share this with your family and friends at this point here. It is 7:30 in the morning, and we got 4 tornado warnings on board, okay? I don't want to hear any more about the very low risk across Western Arkansas, because this is verifying to a T right now across Western Arkansas, all right? This is prime example of why we tell you guys all the time, don't let your guard down in a very low risk area for tornadoes, okay? This is the prime reason right here. 4 distinct tornado warnings at this point here. All capable of producing tornadoes. This one, Waldron. This one, Mina, okay? And then this one down here is going to make a run from Mount Ida over here, okay? You need to be taking your tornado precautions. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull some roads up real quick. Highway 270, okay? Highway 71. If you're on 71 or in 270, you need to stop where you are. You need to find a substantial shelter, and you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately at this point, okay? So please keep that in mind here at this time, guys. If you are in a tornado warning, don't wait for us to call out a specific city or a specific county. If you get under a warning today, take those tornado precautions, okay? Because these storms are moving 65 miles per hour. By the time we get to the warning, that's time wasted. That means that that means time wasted to get to your shelter, okay? These storms are moving at 65 miles per hour, so you need to be quick and getting to those shelters as quick as possible, okay? And I'm saying quick a lot because that's how fast these storms are moving. Okay, they're moving at 60 to 65 miles per hour, right? So that's the one from Mina. As a matter of fact, let's go over to our rotation indicator here. So this is going to be the debris. Let's go back over to our rotation indicator. I'm going to take the severe thunderstorm warnings off for just a bit, guys, since we have these overwhelming amounts of tornado warnings here, okay? So this one up in here in Scott County, that one will probably be allowed to expire, okay? Because this one is not as conducive as it was before, okay? The one in Mina, still going, okay? This one still has a good amount of rotation on it. So there it is right there where your greens and your red meet. That's where your rotation is. So that's the second tornado warning, okay? Then you have this one down in here, which I'm starting to get concerned about because this one is producing a good amount of rotation down here. That is just east of Wicks, west of Daisy, which is in far northwestern Pike County, or in far southern or southeastern Polk County at this point here, in Howard County, as a matter of fact. It's making a run for northwestern Pike County at this time here. So just kind of watch that very, very closely. That area of rotation is still there here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 distinct areas of rotation across the board here. That's why all 4 of these areas are under a tornado warning. Okay, take those tornado precautions immediately in this area here. That goes for Mena, Waldron, Mount Ida, Norman, also Daisy. I would go ahead and take your tornado precautions to be on the safe side as well here. Okay, we are rocking and rolling this morning, guys. I told you guys this was going to be a fast and rock and rolling start, and this is what we got going at this point, guys. 4 distinct areas of rotation. We will keep you guys updated. This is what we do, guys. This is why we're here. Alright? We will keep you guys informed on all 4 of these tornado warnings, okay? All 3, the ones down here, go until 8 o'clock this morning here, okay? Then the one up here near Waldron is going to go until 7:45. This one is fixing to be gone, so you're fixing to be dropping down into 3 tornado warnings here. Now, this one goes till 8:15 this morning. However, based off of the rotation right now, I wouldn't be surprised if it got extended into Yale County, which would include Danville. Let's see if I can zoom this down and pull up some roads here. Okay, so that tornado warning, in the path of that, we got Highway 28. Okay, we got Highway 27 up here in Yale County, and then we have Highway 10 that runs from Little Rock all the way over towards Casa, Ola, and into Pike County here, which is the Belleville area up here in central Yale County here. So Highway 10, Highway 27, okay, let's see here, Highway 27 in this area, Highway 28 in this point, and then also Highway 80 over here in far eastern Scott County at this time here as well, guys. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Get away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. So, to kind of explain the reason why we have the tornado warnings, the 4 tornado warnings right now here, you're looking at it right now, you're thinking at 7 o'clock in the morning, we shouldn't have a lot of instability in place. You got a crazy amount of shear going on across Arkansas right now here. There's a lot of directional shear in place. So, this is why we're saying you need to be taking your tornado precautions in this area, guys. We got 4 different tornado warnings at this point. One's going straight for Pike County. We got one for Montgomery. We got one for Scott County, as well as going to make a run for Yale County. And as a matter of fact, this one up here, Boonville, Logan County. Watch that closely, okay? We've got 4 distinct areas of rotation at this point here, okay? We may have a 5th up here if this one starts making a run to the right, okay? Keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on it at this point, but definitely something that we're going to keep an eye on across the area here, guys. So, multiple tornado warnings to start off the morning, guys. I do appreciate y'all. I've got 1,000 people on this live stream right now. I appreciate each and every single one of you for being here, guys. This is what we hear. This is what we do, guys. This is why we keep you guys informed on this, okay? I'm going to give you guys an example of what I'm talking about here. So, if you know anybody that ever tells you, okay, and this one up here in Johnson County now, that one, tornado possible up here as well. So, a severe thunderstorm warning toward POS. These orange severe thunderstorm warnings that you're seeing, those are considerable damage threat severe thunderstorm warnings, okay? So, they're overlapping the tornado warnings at this point. There's also more storms that are moving out of northeast Texas along 30 now, okay? All of these storms that you're seeing are capable of producing tornadoes, okay? This is why I'm saying, folks, if you are in central, if you're in eastern Arkansas, please review your severe weather plans today, guys. Have a plan ready to go here, guys. Western Arkansas is taking a beating this morning here, okay? So we've got multiple rounds of strong to severe thunderstorms moving through the area here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys this real quickly here before we go back to the 4 tornado warnings here. But I wanted to show you guys an example of what we got here while we have those warnings, okay? Right here is your current tornado risk at this point. Keep in mind, I mentioned current because we got an update that's supposed to come out in 15 minutes. This is right there on that 5% line, okay? That means you are in a very low threat for seeing tornadoes, and you've got 4 tornado warnings, okay? So if you ever hear a very low tornado threat, keep in the back of your mind that it can still produce. It just doesn't mean that it's going to be a widespread deal, okay? So just keep that in mind at this point, all right? The Boonville one, right now, I'm more worried about damaging winds with that one versus the tornado threat, but we're going to watch it closely, okay? But look what's going on here, okay? We're now down to 3 tornado warnings at this point. 15 minutes to go before these tornado warnings are allowed to expire here. That's Polk, Montgomery, Howard County, and Scott County at this point here. If you are in these tornado warnings, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Get away from windows, put as many walls to unit outside as possible, get to the lowest area if you're home immediately. Cameron, I saw that in the chat. Thank you very much for that information. We were covering that this morning with that tornado warning up there in Benton County and Washington County this morning. There's now been significant damage being reported in the Springdale and the Lowell area up there in northwestern Arkansas, folks. So keep in mind, that was in a very low tornado risk, a 2% tornado risk, and you got significant damage up there, guys. So that's why we urge so much. Just because it's not a 15% tornado risk doesn't mean that's going to happen, okay? So that's why we urge you guys so much whenever there's a bit no low-end tornado threat, especially in western Arkansas, they can still produce tornadoes, okay? But back to what we were going over with the tornado warnings at this point here, okay? Scott County, Montgomery County, Polk County, northern Howard County, and also the Pike County area here. Those are the areas of concern that we're going to have to watch for that potential here. Guys, I'm getting new information in by the second, so what we're going to do is we're going to zoom this down so you guys can see radar at this point. This is quickly moving off towards north and east at about 60 miles per hour here. But we now have a new day 1 that is out, and we'll go ahead and take a look at it real quickly while you guys are looking at radar for these ongoing tornado warnings here. So I do appreciate y'all for sending in reports, by the way, here. I got all those reports out of those areas here, okay? So there is the new day 1. I believe they kept it the same with the day 1 here, okay? So let me see here. Let me go over this real quickly here, okay? So yeah, the new day 1 still has the moderate risk across eastern Arkansas. The slight risk has basically overtaken the marginal risk up here. So this is all 5% tornado risk up here now. The enhanced risk now still goes for central and eastern Arkansas here, okay? So I'm going to see if there's been any changes with the tornado threat. No. So basically what's happened is the only change that's occurred is this up here now. Instead of being a 2% tornado risk, it's now a 5% tornado risk, okay? So basically that's what's occurred with that. But you can see the hatched area is still in eastern and southeastern Arkansas, 10% hatched, still in the delta. You may see here, okay, so your hail threat still remains the same, and your wind threat still remains the same across the area here, okay? Let's see the discussion here. So the moderate risk still remains in effect. A regional outbreak of severe thunderstorms expected. The greatest concerns are tornadoes, some strong EF2 plus across the area. That's in eastern Arkansas. And then we have these severe gusts, some up to hurricane force across the area. We can get past these tornado warning, folks. I will go over all that information for you guys here. But these are the ongoing tornado warnings at this point here, okay? So let me take this out so you guys can see, okay? Let's go back over. I'm about to change this back over to our level 3 and then our level 2 back over again, okay? So this one right in here, Mina, it's over you right now, okay? So Mina, kind of hold on your shoulders just a little bit longer and then it should be pushing through, okay? Havana, Belleville, if I pronounce that wrong, excuse me, Danville, Plainview, and then Ola, right around that 8:30 time frame here, okay? What's going on now is that this is starting to conceal into a line of storms, which is great news if you are wanting to get rid of the tornado threat, but the damaging wind threat is still there with these storms here, okay? So that's some decent good news. I'm not seeing any sort of major reports of anything being on the ground or anything like that, but you can see still little areas of rotation here. That warning has been allowed to expire. This one's going to go until 8 o'clock here, so this one's going to continue for those areas here. So the tornado warning for northeastern Polk and northwestern Montgomery County has been canceled in those areas, okay? This one, Black Springs, Odin, Norman, and over towards Mount Ida. This one is quickly moving into Montgomery County, and it's going to make a run for northwestern Garland County by the time we get towards, I would say, the 8:15, 8:20 time frame here, okay? and then this one down in here, same, I would say the same general path with that one. That one's going to move into northwestern Pike County and into southern Montgomery County within the next 15 to 20 minutes here, guys. So I'm reading the newest information from the Storm Prediction Center. Let's see here. Okay, so alright, I'm going to make sure they don't have any sort of... Okay, alright, so let me see here. Okay, so the most favorable parameter space still appears to be across the moderate area, which is in eastern Arkansas. The greatest wind and tornado probabilities are drawn, including at least a 10% hatch significant severe levels in those areas. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, shear. First of all, your shear is going to be insane. A 110 knot, 700 and 500 millibar layer flow basically is something that's extreme. You don't ever want to see a 110 knot jet this far south. See here. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so they don't talk about the increase to a high risk, which is great news. You don't want a high risk at all, but I think they're going to leave it as a moderate, but it's going to be a high-end moderate. Basically, you're going to have the potential of significant tornadoes, EF2+, and the potential of seeing widespread damaging winds across the board here, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind here, all right? So that's the current tornado warnings across the board. Let me see here. So David, police scanner in the Polk County area, seeing tornadoes on the ground. Acorn north of Mena, which would be this one right in here if you were to be technical here. So give me 1 second. I'm going to zoom this in. They dropped a warning with this one, okay? So Polk County, the northern end, has been allowed to be canceled. They dropped this one because this particular storm is accelerating pretty quickly, okay? And then we have this one down in here that's moving to the east as well here. Same speed, moving at about 60 to 65 miles per hour. So it's moving into Montgomery County at this point here, okay? So I'm watching that one very closely here. Let me see here. That one was for... Give me 1 second here. That one is going to go for... That's the... Okay, so that's up there towards this area here. Let me go back up to... this one up here. So this one right here. That's the Waldron area. That's the area of rotation that's still going at this point here. So they're going to allow that one to continue. Now here's the thing about being in western Arkansas. You do have mountains over here, okay? So radar is going to try to throw a deceiving eye at you in terms of the area of rotation, because some of this rotation could be going up in the higher elevations here. So something to kind of monitor and keep an eye on. But just, I would say watch this storm. I wouldn't be shocked at that tornado when it gets kind of extended further down the road into Yale County at this point here, okay? So there's the tornado warnings for Polk and Montgomery County, and then this one down here that's going to go until 8 o'clock as well, which is in the next 7 minutes. That one's going to go into Pike County, but this one is appearing to be more of a damaging wind threat versus a tornado threat with this one. This one right in here, I would say if there's a tornado threat, it's going to be right over here, okay? It's going to be right over Scott County at this point. So something that we'll monitor and keep an eye on here, but that's what we're going to have to watch very closely here. This one may get extended to include far western Yale County, far southeastern Logan County at this point, because you can see what's going on here. There's your what's called a mesolow up here, trailing line of storms beginning to now form across western Arkansas. It's now 8 o'clock, and you're just now getting a line in western Arkansas here. So that's my concern for later on today, especially for our folks in eastern Arkansas here. I haven't even had a chance to look at data too much for you guys up there. There's also a new warning. Okay, so now there's a new warning up here, guys. I'm going to see here. That one just got issued until 8:15 here. I'm going to go over and take a look at this one. So this one's going to go for the Johnson County one, okay? So there's one for Clarksville up here. I'm taking a look at it now, guys. I appreciate it. I was paying attention to the ones down here. There's a one for Johnson County that's going to go until 8:15 this morning. This one is moving into rural area of Johnson and Newton County. Okay, I'm not pulling any cities up here at this point here. However, let me see here. Okay, that's Highway 7. Okay, Highway 123 up here, and then Highway 21 up here in Johnson County and into Newton County. Okay, so this is moving into very rural areas up here in northern Johnson County and in Newton County at this point. However, if you know anyone on these highways, tell them to take their tornado precautions immediately, guys. And so far, I'm going to take a look at that. So that's going to go for northern Johnson County, north central Polk County, in southeastern Newton County until 8:15 this morning. Severe thunderstorms kept producing tornadoes located over Woodland or 8 miles northwest of Clarksville, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Hazard tornado source radar indicated rotation at this point here. It's got a decent rotation, and I believe this is on interstate, includes Interstate 40 between mile markers 53 and 55 across the area here. Okay, so let's go back to the rotation indicator real quickly here. First of all, you're not going to see this coming if you're trying to spot this tornado, folks. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area here. Very, very heavy rain wrapped, and as a matter of fact, yes, this is moving into rural areas of Johnson and Newton County. The problem is, it's heading right for Highway 65 here, which is Gilbert and the Marshall area in Sbc County. Okay, so at the moment, this is moving into rural county. This is the rural areas up here in Johnson and Newton County. Alright, so we're going to continue to monitor it. I'm going to monitor these storms down here a little closer, because these are headed into populated cities. The ones up there are still in rural area right now, but we're going to watch it. But Highway 65, definitely watch that very closely, guys. But you can see multiple tornado warnings still remains in effect till 8 o'clock. 4 more minutes on these warnings. Okay. Alright, so this one's moving into Yale County. This one has lost a good amount of rotation, so we'll wait and see if they extend the warning. And then you have this one down in here that's going to go for Black Springs, Odin, Norman, and then Mount Ida. And then this one down in here is moving into northwestern Pike County at this point, guys. Okay, so kind of a zoomed out broad area of what's going on here. Let's take a look at what's going on across the board here. There's your line of storms beginning to develop across the board. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, alright? 8 a.m. and you're not getting a line of storms across western Arkansas here. So it's going to take some time for this line to mature, and then it's going to start pushing eastward. So it should be here in the metro by lunch, and then in eastern Arkansas, it should be there by the time we get towards that 2-3 p.m. time frame. If you need information from that, please check out the page, guys. We will have all the information you need to know here. So a total count tornado warnings right now: 1, 2, 3, 4 tornado warnings across the board. We have a new special weather statement for that one. That's going to go until 8:15. Okay. There's now a new severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible. That's going to go for the Newton County area. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to probably drop that tornado warning up there at 8:15, and they're going to replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. All of these warnings right here is something that we're going to watch very closely. Okay. But there's the tornado warning still remain in effect across this area here. So I'm going to zoom this down and show you guys what we're looking at here. Okay, so this tornado warning is supposed to be expired at 8 o'clock, next 2 minutes. This one's supposed to be expired at 8:15, and then this one is going to be expired at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, the bright reds that you're seeing on our radar, that is our severe thunderstorm warnings that are capable of producing tornadoes. Okay, so it's like a halfway step between a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning here. Okay, so sirens are going off from Clarksville. As I said before, folks, what's going to be happening today, especially with these warnings, they're going to go off for the particular county, but they're not going to go off for the city here. So just looking at this one, let me take off the severe thunderstorm warnings to show you guys what we're talking about here. Okay, so the storm itself is well to the north of Clarksville. Okay, the storm itself is right over central Johnson County at this point here, but the warning is warning the entire county. So you've gotten sirens going off in Clarksville for areas that have interest along Highway 21 or interest along Highway 123 up here in Johnson County here, because that's where the potential tornado is going to go. Okay, so that's Highway 7, Highway 123, Highway 123 as well, and Highway 21 in Johnson County at this point here. Okay, so that's what we got going at this point here. This is quickly moving off to the east-northeast at about 60 to 65 miles per hour, guys. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area here. Okay, please take your tornado precautions here. Don't wait for us to talk about your cities or your counties or anything like that. If a warning goes out, take your tornado precautions immediately, guys. Don't wait for us to make that call. take those tornado precautions. If you see that warning go off on your phone, don't wait for us to go over it. We will, as before, we'll tackle it when we can. But if there's multiple warnings, then it's going to be hard to try to get to everybody at once here, okay? So they have dropped all the tornado warnings here, which is great news, okay? The problem is it's now transitioning over to a damaging wind threat. So that's what's going on here, okay? If we can get rid of this one warning up here in Johnson County, then I can talk to you guys about what's going on later on, okay? But until these warnings have been allowed to expire, I cannot do that because it's a threat to life and property if I start talking about other things, okay? So once we get rid of these tornado warnings, then we will start talking about what's going to be happening as we get towards this evening here, okay? But let this be a prime example for those that are in central and eastern Arkansas. Let this be an example. Look what's been going on in western Arkansas. You are in a 5% tornado risk. As a matter of fact, let's take that back. You are in a 2% tornado risk to start this off, okay? Now you got bumped up to a 5% because you had tornado warnings going off left and right, okay? But let this be a prime example at this point here, okay? All right, if it's blurry, you may have to back out of the live stream and then come back in. It's a Facebook thing. It's not on us. Our stuff is running pretty good on our area here. We've been live for about almost an hour and a half at this point, okay? Sirens are going off in the Jasper area here, guys, okay? So let's pull back up the severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's talk about those, okay? So these are the severe thunderstorm warnings across this area now, okay? All these severe thunderstorm warnings, that's for Scott, Polk, Montgomery, Yell County, and Logan County. This is primarily for the potential of seeing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1-inch hail, okay? No tornado possible with that, all right? The one up here, that's going to go until 8:15. Let's see if we can break the streak. We've been live for about an hour and a half now, which puts us, I started the live stream a little bit before 7 o'clock, so let's see if we can break the streak here. We've had multiple tornado warnings across the board this morning. We've had damage in Springdale, which is in northwestern Arkansas. I believe that one was probably a tornado. But I think they're ruling it as thunderstorm wind damage right now. It's still debatable right now. I haven't heard any more official information about that. But it's widespread damage up there at this point here in Washington County. This morning, northwestern Arkansas. We've had multiple tornado warnings across western Arkansas this morning, guys. As I said before, let this be a prime example of what's going to be happening as we get towards this evening and into the night here, okay? So, that tornado warning still remains in effect until 8:15 this morning, guys. Until these warnings, at least the tornado warnings, have been allowed to expire, I can't physically talk to you guys about what's going on elsewhere here. All that information will be on the page. We will talk about that once we get past this current tornado warning here, okay? So this is up here in Johnson and in Newton County at this time here. I'm taking a very close look at it right now. This is moving. Now I'm starting to get some cities impacted. Now we're starting to get Western Grove. We're starting to get Pendle in here. That's along Highway 65 up here that runs from Sbc County up into Marion County here, guys. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. We're going to zoom this down and show you guys what we're talking about here, okay? So that's Highway 65 that runs, not Marion County, excuse me, Boone County. It runs from Sbc to Boone County. And then you have Highway 412 that runs from Boone into Marion County here. But as said before, there's the area of rotation here. This is starting to take more what's called a bow echo, which is great news if you want to get rid of the potential tornado threat. But here's the thing: you substitute the tornado threat with the damaging wind threat. So either way, you're still going to deal with severe weather. Either way you go with this, but it is still on the table for this up here as well here, guys, okay? So until this warning has been allowed to expire, then once this warning has been allowed to expire, then I will start talking about other parts of the natural state and what can we be expecting as we get towards later this afternoon and into this evening here. I'm getting a lot of people asking me about a PDS. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. You don't need a PDS to take this storm system seriously, okay? They are making those PDS tornado watches extremely rare. I mean, we've had a moderate risk before, and there has been not a single PDS tornado watch. It takes a special event to get a PDS tornado watch here. So just something to keep in mind. If it doesn't go PDS, that's fine. This isn't a general tornado watch. You've got multiple tornado warnings and possibly even a confirmed tornado up there in northwestern Arkansas. Okay, so even if it doesn't go PDS, still take it seriously, guys. Basically, what that is, it's a particularly dangerous situation. That's what it means. Okay. Very, very rare to get a PDS. It's extremely difficult to get a PDS tornado watch here. It's very, very difficult because everything has to set up in place with this. Okay, it takes a special amount to get it. I've seen moderate risks happen and not a single PDS just because of the parameters in place for it. Okay, so it takes a lot to get a PDS. It takes a significant amount to get a PDS, and I don't know if they're going to make a run for it with that, especially in eastern Arkansas. It's as a wait and see. The problem I'm having right now is that the longer this takes to get into eastern Arkansas, the more instability you're going to have over there, and the worse your situation is going to be. So our best case scenario is we need this to be in eastern Arkansas quick. Otherwise, it's going to be game over there. We'll have significant severe weather here in eastern Arkansas for today here. But right now, the general motion, I'm starting to see these storms moving. They're not moving due east now. They're still moving northeast. Okay, the flow right now, I believe your 500 millibar flow is going basically just like this. Okay, so that means it's still in either neutral or it's still in that positive range. Okay, so that means all your storms are moving due northeast. Instead of due east, they're moving northeast. Okay, what's going to happen today is that trough is going to go negative over natural state. That puts eastern Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Louisiana, and Alabama at risk for seeing that significant severe weather threat. And that does include for us here in eastern Arkansas as well here. Okay, but it's going to take time for that to occur, and when that occurs, that's when you're going to start seeing a significant severe weather threat kind of take off across eastern Arkansas as we get towards later on here. But the problem I have right now, folks, it's 8 o'clock, and we don't have an inkling of a line trying to get going over here in western Arkansas right now. There's just been isolated broken segments across the area, and that's just been going left and right. So until we get a solid line, it's going to be a little bit difficult to try to pinpoint what's going to be happening here. Okay, so this warning still goes until 8:15. What I can do for just a bit, because this is in a very rural area up here in Johnson and in Newton County, what I'm going to do for just a bit, I'm going to show you guys the current Sbc Outlook at this point. So bear with me for just a second. I'm going to pull that up for you guys here. Okay, I don't think there's been any significant changes with it. Okay, so we're going to go over here to day 1, and it should be pulling up here shortly. Okay, so this is it. Okay, I'm going to take off radar for just a bit so you guys can have a clear view on what we're looking at. Okay, so tornado, I'm going to keep the tornado warnings up, and I'm going to keep the severe thunderstorm warnings off for just a second here. Okay, so this is what we got at this point here. Okay, the yellow area is slight risk, the orange area is the enhanced, and then you have your moderate risk over here. It includes eastern Arkansas and the southeastern Arkansas. All morning long, all those severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings have been in the marginal and slight risk areas. They have not even been in the highest risk areas yet. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, and I'm going to take off the county so you guys can see the cities a little bit better as well. So bear with me for just a bit. Let me go back over. Okay, I'm going to show you guys that graphically real quick. Okay, so that's the ongoing tornado warning. Okay, rural area up here in Johnson and Newton County up here. So this is the reason why I'm talking about this now. Alright, so there's your moderate risk here. Your enhanced risk from Little Rock to Cherokee Village down to El Dorado. Actually, take that back. From Little Rock down to Magnolia. And then you have your slight risk that goes from Marshall down towards Nashville, down towards Texarkana. You have a very, very thin line of the marginal. I mean, it's very, very thin. But the majority of this is at least a minimum slight risk. Okay, and then in northwestern Arkansas, you're done. Your severe threat's over with for today. Okay, you guys don't need any more severe weather up there. As Dawson, you see his comment. You've gotten reports of confirmed damage up there in Springdale. You don't need any more severe weather up there today. So you're done up here in northwestern Arkansas. This is now a majority of the natural state threat here. Now, what I'm going to show you guys graphically is going to be your tornado risk. Okay. Now, I want to talk about this tornado risk because I'm going to point out something that you guys saw this morning. Remember that 2% was across northwestern Arkansas and the 5% was across the area. You've had multiple tornado warnings in the 5% area. Okay? That's what's been going on here this morning. Alright? This is why we're urging you guys downstream. We're talking Little Rock, we're talking down towards Magnolia, up towards Jonesboro, at 5% areas. Don't let your guard down just because the 15% is not over your head. Okay? Do not let your guard down in these areas, guys. We're urging you guys so much. Do not let your guard down in these areas. Okay? The 10% goes from Osceola down to Stuttgart, down to just to the east of Magnolia, includes El Dorado at this point, okay? And then your 15% that goes from Helena, West Helena, down to Dumas, down to Crossit, down to Lake Village, does include Monticello. You're like right there on the border of the right there, between the 10 and the 15. And then you have Portland, then you have Arkansas City down here, Wilmot, and then Lake Village down here, and far southeastern Arkansas. Okay, but as I said before, please do not let your guard down just because you're not in highest risk. Take a look what the tornado warning is right now. Okay, the tornado warning is here in the 5% area. Okay, so that tells you everything you need to know, folks. Please have a plan ready to go as we get towards this afternoon into this evening. It's not meant to cause panic or anything like that. We're not meant to out here scaring anybody or anything like that. It's just the sense of awareness. We're trying to keep you guys informed on what's going on across the board here, guys. So please keep that in mind for this afternoon here. Now, let's talk about this, okay? This is the significant tornado potential. This is the EF2 plus tornado potential. That goes from Memphis to Forest City to Stuttgart. Does include Gillette, Dumas, Monticello. It does now include, I would say, the El Dorado area now towards Crossit, okay? And then you can talk Warren, the Hermitage area down here in southern Arkansas. And then you have Junction City over here as well here, okay? So just keep that in mind, all right? That's the area of concern for the significant tornado potential. Do not let your guard down just because you're not in this area, folks, okay? As you can see, look what the tornado warning is right now. I'm making this a prime example of what's going on. Okay, your highest risk for tornadoes, your tornado warning right now is in the lower risk. Okay, keep that in mind for this afternoon and this evening. Okay, just because you're in a lower risk doesn't mean squat. You can still get severe weather across the board. The significant wind potential. All right, this is going for these 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts or higher. We're talking from Jonesboro to Memphis, to Stuttgart, the Gillette area, Dumas, Warren, down towards El Dorado, okay? And now the wind potential graphic, okay? Low risk over here, okay? But your higher threat will start gradually increasing by the time you get towards the Little Rock area, down towards Camden, down towards Magnolia, and then points east from there. And then you can see the purple area over here, the 45%. That goes from Osceola to Memphis, to Helena, West Helena, to Dumas, to Gillette, down towards, I would say, Monticello now, Crossit, the Eudora area, Greenville, and Lake Village over here in eastern Arkansas, okay? Please keep this in mind, folks. Do not let your guard down just because you're not in the biggest risk, okay? So to go over everything one more time, moderate risk across eastern Arkansas, okay? Enhanced risk from much of central and eastern Arkansas that goes for both wind and tornado. And then you have your slight risk, your lower risk out here, okay? It's a very low risk, but you can still see what's going on out here, folks, okay? I hope that answered everybody's question about what was going on as we get towards this evening and this morning and into this evening here, okay? So this is fixing to get ready to expire. Once this expires, folks, I am going to break away from coverage. That does not mean radar updates are going to stop, okay? Radar updates are going to continue on the page. We have a full website that you guys can tune in as well and continue to monitor radar updates as well on that page as well, okay? So there's one more question I just saw. Is this looking like an outbreak? Right now, I don't know if this is going to be a full-on outbreak or not, okay? Either way you slice it, we still will be dealing with the potential of seeing severe weather, okay? I think for areas east of Arkansas, definitely. For us here in the natural state, we got to wait and see what happens with that line of storms across western Arkansas. If that line forms and it gets out of here pretty quick, then we dodge a pretty decent bullet. But if it doesn't get going within the next 2 hours, then we could potentially be dealing with a pretty decent threat for our folks in eastern Arkansas at this point, okay? So for it's not meant to scare anybody. It's not meant to, cause panic or anything like that. We're not trying to hype this event up or anything like that, folks. This is just simply to cause a room of awareness, okay? It's trying to keep you guys aware of what's going on, okay? So before I know, there's a lot of people kind of leaving and stuff. I'm hoping that answered everybody's question about what was going on here, okay? So that tornado warning has been allowed to expire, so I am going to break away from coverage, okay? This is not going to be our last live stream. If another tornado warning gets issued, we will be back here, okay? But if another tornado warning doesn't get issued, I will be back here probably around 11:30ish, 12 with the next update from Storm Prediction Center to kind of go over everything and monitoring these storms as they progress, guys. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here on your source for all things Arkansas weather.